Kia ora, I'm Quinlan of Tane's Tree Trust's Northern Totara Working Group, and this is a video on form pruning Totara. I'm sure you just want me to get right into it, so let's go find a tree to prune. So here's the first volunteer, and I'm going to do what I call the top down, bottom up and tweak in between approach, because form pruning is the priority for Totara. I've assessed the tree and I want to start at the top and make it form one single leader. Some people call this leader training, and then I'll work down and take off the heavy and steeply angled branches. I'm selecting a single leader to become the main stem and removing or shortening the others to prevent them from competing. Now the heavy and steeply angled branches, but at this stage I want to minimise how much foliage I remove. Encouraging a tall straight trunk or bole is the priority, and the tree needs foliage to grow well. Now I check if the middle needs any tweaking. Tipping can be a useful tool to take the vigour out of side branches and divert the growth to the main leader. We want to get the lower branches off before the trunk diameter exceeds 15 centimetres, or 20 at the outside. This is the diameter over the pruning stubs, or DOS. It's a really important concept. And we don't need to take these ones off yet. The diameter is only 12 centimetres. So in this case, we have plenty of time. If we reckon with 1 centimetre trunk diameter growth per year, as long as I get back to this tree in about 3 years to remove the lower branches, I'll keep that defect core below the targeted 15 centimetres. Or within 8 years to keep the DOS below 20 centimetres. Here's an example of a tree that has been form pruned in the past and developed an easy 4.5 metre straight trunk. I can now do conventional bottom-up lifts to keep the DOS below my 15 centimetre target. Here's another example. And another. I'm keeping these trees to push this one up. They can come out later once I get a 6.5 metre clear bole. Here's a tree I've form pruned in the past. Got a 6 metre straight bole here that just needs to be followed up with bottom up lifts to keep the DOS under control. This tree is growing in very open conditions. It has been form pruned as a sapling, and recently I did a bottom up lift to get my target 4.5 metre minimum pruned height. This will easily produce a 4.3 metre log length for 4.2 metre finished timber lengths. I won't do anything more to this tree now. It has a good crown, it'll fatten very quickly. With a maximum DOS of less than 20 centimetres and a target harvest diameter of 60 centimetres, I expect to harvest this tree within 40 years' time. Trees growing in the bush or in natural pole stands can have excellent form. Sometimes you can prune 6.5 metres in a single bottom-up lift. Some don't even need pruning. Most of us prune far too many trees. We should really just select the very good ones and not prune the ones that are likely to be removed around them. It'd be much better to have a green knot in the timber, that's an alive knot, than a pruned branch stub. That's a defect in the timber. It would have been better to have just left a branch and had a knotty saw log. Well, I'm sure you don't want to just see me prune easy trees. Here's one that's on a ridge in high light conditions with a confused top. Lots of vigorous, steeply angled branches. I'm going to start with the leader pruning, and then virtually all the branches are steep and vigorous, so I can't take them all off. So I'll end up tipping some of them to take the vigor out of them and send the new growth into the new leader. Regarding equipment, I find I can do everything I want with two ladders. A 2.4 meter ladder has a working platform of about 2 meters, and if I stand on that I can get another 2.5, and that makes a 4.5 meter pruned height. And with a 4.2 meter ladder, this enables me to do the high pruning to 6.5 meters. Ensure that the V of the ladder won't damage the bark of the tree. Loppers are quick and efficient, but only use them with the locking nut side away from the tree, so you don't damage the bark at the branch collar. Bigger branches need a pruning saw. I like these little arborist saws. This is a silky saw, Totara model, and they're very fast and efficient. Always undercut every branch when you're using a pruning saw. Otherwise the bark will tear when the branch falls down. Also shorten the branch to take the weight off. That prevents pull wood on the stub face and makes for a much cleaner cut. But when you're sawing above your head, you tend to get sawdust in your eyes, so it's good to have some eye protection. It's important that the pruned branch stubs are steeply angled to shed water easily. A diameter tape converts circumference to diameter. This is tree number 2. It's got a metal tag on it. And I know that in 1999 this tree was 23 centimeters in diameter. It's now 58.2 centimeters diameter. There's a relationship between DOS, maximum DOS, and the target harvest diameter. The DOS, or the defect core, should not be more than 1/3 of the total diameter of the tree at time of harvest. So if we keep the defect core, or the DOS, less than 15 centimeters, means we can harvest at a tree diameter of 45 centimeters. But if the maximum DOS is 20 centimeters, then we need to keep that tree longer until it's 60 centimeters in diameter before it can be harvested and have sufficient clearwood volume outside of those pruning stubs. So to summarize, remember, don't just prune from the bottom up. That would make the top go like an octopus, and then you'd only have a very short bowl. We need to form prune Totara. Start from the top with leader training, and then the steeply angled branches and heavy branches, and then can come up with a follow up with the bottom up lift to keep the DOS under control. And some tipping of any vigorous side branches will help encourage that new leader to shoot for the sky.